thing. All you bitches best to know my name. Nobody you hoes, I'm coming from South Park. Catch you after dark, I'ma spit your fucking chest apart. Follow you. For the thing, all you bitches best to know my name. Nobody you hoes, I'm coming from South Park. Catch you after dark, I'ma spit your fucking chest apart. Follow you. For the thing, all you bitches best to know my name. Nobody you hoes, I'm coming from South Park. Catch you after dark, I'ma spit your fucking chest apart. Follow you. So thing. All you bitches best to know my name. Nobody you hoes, I'm coming from South Park. Catch you after dark, I'ma spit your fucking chest apart. Follow you. For the thing, all you bitches best to know my name. Nobody you hoes, I'm coming from South Park. Catch you after dark, I'ma spit your fucking chest apart. Follow you.
Thank you.
Musk, get your goofy Star Trek looking ass in my office right goddamn now. What kind of white boy joy shit was that? I mean, I hope you got some kind of Tourette's or some shit, or that's how they greet people on your planet. I don't know. But that shit look wild. That's why people don't trust you now, Elon. We don't know if you Bruce Wayne or if you're Lex Luthor. We don't know if you're trying to save the government some money or you trying to get rid of the useless eaters, Elon. You got some fucking explaining to do with that shit. I hope you were just overexcited and you just couldn't fucking control yourself or something. I don't know. Get that goofy shit out of your system and let's make America great again, goddammit. It's Cannon Hotep. Holla at you.
Uh-oh. Look like the Hoteps done triggered some people. How brainwashed are you guys that y'all can't admit when some shit look fucking weird? When some shit look fucking just, I don't care what the context is. That shit's fucking weird, okay? Or he was giving his heart out to everybody. Yeah, you know when people say, I'm giving my heart out to you, they go like this. I'm giving my heart out to you, right? Black people go, point, or somebody might go like this with the fucking hand. This motherfucker did a straight sig howl. Now, did he mean it? I'm sure he didn't mean it, but the shit looked fucking crazy. And for all you he's got Asperger's. He's got Asperger's. And if he got Asperger's, then Joe Biden got a stutter, motherfucker. We all got a touch of the tism, but I ain't giving no fucking multi-billionaire fucking pass on he got Asperger's. I don't care who you are. My son even thought that shit looked fuck. He said, hey, yo, my son said the shit. My son on the goddamn spectrum. And like I said in my last video, I'm gonna chalk this shit up till he was excited and he was on his white boy joy shit. And as entertaining as it was, y'all the same motherfuckers that wouldn't give Kamala a break, nitpicking every goddamn thing she did. But we can't fucking criticize Elon? Get the fuck out of here. Elon, if you see this, cut the silly shit out and let's get to work. It's time to make America great again, goddammit. This Cannon Hotep saying, it's cold as a bitch outside. I holla at you.
Hotep, especially when the Hotep got the goddess.
off, trying to tell y'all goofy dudes what they planning. It's Hotep. Hope you motherfuckers understand. It's Hotep. Hope you motherfuckers understand. No threat to a Hotep, especially when the Hotep got the goddess. Mask off, he's working his ass off, trying to tell y'all goofy dudes what they planning. It's Hotep. Hope you motherfuckers understand. It's Hotep. Hope you motherfuckers understand.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Welcome to Cannon Speaks, a special Tuesday edition. Give yourselves a round of applause, because you could be anywhere right now, but you're hanging out with me, and I really appreciate it. If you're new, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification icon. It'll let you know when I got new content coming out. Share this stream, guys. Let people know we live. You're catching the replay. Leave a comment. Let me know how I'm doing. I can use that constructive criticism, guys. The question of the night is, do you think Elon was taken out of context? Or do you think that he's a racist? Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, man. We're going to talk about these executive orders that Trump put in the first fucking 24 hours, I guess you would call it. We're going to revisit some stuff that you guys didn't see yesterday because YouTube had me suspended. And I guess I won my appeal. Because we live and in action right now. So, you know what? Here we go. And a couple other things, man. We're going to talk about a couple other things, man. Anyway, guys, you want to donate to the channel, $ Cannon Hotep on Cash App. Super Chats, Rumble Rants, always welcome. Damn, I got a lot of fucking chapstick on. Shit. Glossy. Hardcore streamer, but he's glossy. Oh man. Before we get started, we're going to address this Elon shit. That's what we're going to start at right now. We're going to address this Elon shit. You saw the videos that I played in the beginning, okay? You see me? You see how I do this, right? So when I do this, this is how my hand is when I go out here like this. I'm not out here like, you know what I mean? I ain't doing none of that shit, right? Anyway, so I see that shit on the timeline, right? And people are like, you gotta look at it in context. You gotta look at it in context. I'm like, I did. Like, who the fuck you talking to? This shit still look crazy. The hand gesture was wild, okay? And what's the first thing they do? They start throwing him some bail. Oh, he has Asperger's. He's on the spectrum. They just making shit up. They don't know if Elon on the fucking spectrum. Now, granted, a lot of people out here that are really fucking smart like that, they got some kind of like, you know, autism or some shit like that, possibly. But he ain't been diagnosed with no shit. It's just fucking a bunch of goddamn going keyboard words out here trying to throw him some bail. Just like, remember when Joe Nicholslick was going through his fucking, when he started forgetting every goddamn thing and he couldn't talk or form a sentence? What's the first thing they did when he was on the campaign trail? Oh, he has a stutter. They're making fun of him because he has a stutter. I'm like, that nigga ain't got no stutter. Oh, he has a state prayer. They made a whole backstory about it. They even brought a little kid up on the stage at the DNC that had a stutter to make it seem like they were trying to be compassionate. Oh, he has a stutter. Here they go now. Elon's so excited on stage because he's some awkward rich guy who ain't never had a fucking crew. Okay? The only people that Elon been around like that is the people that work for him. That's it. Point blank, period. He a rich dude, a wealthy dude who's socially awkward. Now all of a sudden he getting all this praise. It looked like he belonged to a crowd. He belonged to a team, right? He belonged to a movement and a cause. He's so fucking excited that he just did some dumb shit. That's what the fuck he did. Now, did he do that shit from the heart? He probably did, okay? But the shit was so awkward that it was like, yo, that shit was wild, Elon. Even Elon got to look back at that shit. Oh, yeah, maybe that shit was a little wild. And if you really Elon friendly, you really rock with Elon, you tell them that shit, the optics on that shit look crazy. But here you go, you got dickheads in my comments on Instagram and Twitter. You got people on my TikTok. Yeah, I'm trying to get my TikTok growth still. They just going in. They going in. He has some mother of an autistic kid gonna say autistic moms are gonna come for you. You don't make fun of him because of his autism. And I'm like, bitch, my son autistic. What the fuck is you talking about? Even my son knew that shit was wild. 2, you just guessing. Everybody, that's why I put on Twitter today. I said, y'all need to cut it out with this fucking Elon autistic shit. He just awkward. It's fucking awkward. The shit was awkward. The shit was bad optics, and it was fucking funny. And we called his ass out on it, just like we would call anybody out on anything else. These motherfuckers, yo, I tell you, this shit is crazy, yo. You know what I mean? Right. That's what I said. I was like, nigga probably get he might got a little Tourette's something. We don't know. But that shit was crazy. All right. Even HJ played the shit on his channel, and HJ played the context, and we was like, ooh. You can't get around the hand gesture. I don't care what the speech said. It was a great speech, by the way. He looks excited. He's generally excited to start Doge, right? Now I'm sitting here like, damn, should I buy some Dogecoin? I feel like Dogecoin is going to fucking take off for some reason. So I think tomorrow I'm going to buy me like, I don't know, fucking $50 in Dogecoin just to see what the fuck happens. Maybe that shit takes the fuck off. I don't know, because the Trump meme coin took the fuck off. If we're going to just change subjects for a minute. The Trump meme coin took all the way the fuck off. That shit started at 18 cents or some shit, and that shit hit $70. So if I'd have went into the Trump meme coin, which I didn't even know existed, if I'd have went to the Trump meme coin and I just put like $100 on that shit, y'all would have never seen my black ass. I'd have been gone. Your boy over here would have been sitting fucking pretty. We talking 7 figures. Easy. Because I'd have dropped 100 on that shit. Charm City J said he did that shit, turned around and did it again. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. I'm just saying, yo, like, the Trump shit took, and it's still sitting at $40. So if you got in at 18, you still sitting good, yo. I ain't know it existed, but I'm just saying, yo. Because come on, y'all. They create the Department of Government Efficiency. The shit is is based on a fucking crypto coin, a fucking meme coin. It's based on Dogecoin. I'm like, man, listen, I might just put a couple dollars on Doge just in case, just in case. All right. I mean, but I digress. Anyway, back to this Elon shit. Stop giving him a fucking pass. All right. Stop giving him a fucking pass. We still don't know how to feel about Elon. I don't know if he Lex Luthor. I don't know if he fucking Bruce Wayne. I don't know. All right, y'all don't know either. They did the same shit with the Hawk Tour girl. Remember that shit? Oh, they championed her ass until she said she wouldn't suck Donnie T dick, and then they was like, "Oh my God, she's not down for the cause." She's not down for the cause. Oh my goodness gracious, yo. I'm just saying, yo, that shit is crazy to me. This is what they do, yo. It's the woke right, yo. It's the woke right. That's all it is, yo. Me and Strong Dad was catching it left and right. Pause. All day today. And I don't care. I was there for the smoke. I ain't care at all. I wanted the smoke. Thanks for the engagement, people. But I'm telling y'all, this shit was awkward. It was bad optics, okay? And Hotep's gonna call that shit out how we see it. If it's bad optics, goddamn it, then it's fucking bad optics. I don't care what the fuck he meant by it. All right? I don't care what he meant by it. It's just bad optics. Okay? You gotta be careful shit like that when you're a public figure. All right? He should be happy that the Hotep's called him out on that shit so he don't do it again. And all you fucking cult following, fucking diehard fucking Elon fans, go sit in the fucking corner and think about what you've done. Okay? This shit is just crazy. All of a sudden now I'm some fucking crazy leftist because I call Elon out on some fucking goofy shit. Now Strong Dad some crazy leftist because we call Elon out on some goofy shit.
Jay Lynn said Elon hit the angel dust, Holmes. He's a rocket man. Nazis were the first rocket man is part of his heritage. Oh my gosh, Noel, goodness gracious. Uh-oh. By the time I heard about the Trump meme coin, it was too late, bro. Bro, I was sick, bro. I was sick. Is only 200 million Trump circulating? I wish I'd have got in on it. I wish I'd have got in on Limitless. Golly mighty. I'm just trying to catch lightning. Yo. Could you imagine that, yo? I'm serious. Think about it. Could you imagine that shit? If you saw that shit and you was like, I'm just gonna throw 50 on that shit. At 18 cents, I'll throw $50 at it. And that shit took off to $70. Bruh, come on. I mean, just ropes of jizz just coming out. I'm rich, bitch. Pause. But y'all get what I'm saying. Damn. I get it, Justine. All money ain't good money, but that's life-changing money. You know what I mean? That's me, like, we getting the fuck up out of there. I'm paying for my daughter college. We moving. I'm coming to Texas. Hey, Jimmy Doss, move over. Y'all got any room in your neighborhood? Gosh dang it. That's all I'm saying. We got to put a wish in through HJ. I believe he's still giving out angel checks. Yo, angel checks is wild. Angel checks is wild. He said that shit. I was like, oh, this nigga think he Pastor Kearney Thomas out here giving out miracles. Remember Pastor Kearney Thomas? You wake up at like 5 in the morning and Pastor Kearney Thomas live on BET selling his miracle water. We love you too, Justin. We love you too. Oh man. Oh, goodness gracious. I tell you. But y'all, all y'all fucking cult followers, okay? You see the hat? You see the fucking hat? Okay? We gonna make America great again, goddammit. But we can't make America great again if you ain't willing to fucking check your goddamn going elected officials, all right? If Trump do some goofy shit, we gonna call that shit out on this channel. All right? We gonna call that shit out on this channel. Period, full stop. Just saying. Mike says it would come on BET right after the tip drill video went off. Yo, you ain't lying, bro. You was not lying, yo. Oh, man. We can't grow Hitler mustaches or salute with the high five anymore. Damn camera phones. Oh, man. I tell you. Anyway, let's get into it, Joe. So, if y'all missed it yesterday on the show, if he wasn't in here, we was live on X and Rumble and Kick because YouTube was on that bullshit. You know what I mean? Make sure you also hit the like button. Make sure you share this out to everybody. Also, Hotep J, I appreciate you for the... Oh, damn, that's just telling me he was timed out. See, they fucking up over here. Anyway, appreciate everybody watching over on Kick. Everybody watching over on Rumble. And all the imaginary people that's watching over on... all the imaginary 43 people that's watching over on X. I appreciate all you guys. I bet if Elon threw up the Black Power fist, context would be out the door. Boy. They'd have had memes with Elon with fucking cornrows and fronts in his mouth. They'd have had memes with Elon with a fucking Pan-African medallion on. Yo, oh my goodness gracious. The memes would have been crazy, yo. The memes would have been crazy if he threw up the Black Power fist. Oh my gosh. I'm just saying. They'd have had memes with a dashiki on. He'd have been taking a knee with Nancy Pelosi and them in the Capitol. Oh man, the memes would have been wild. Speaking of Doge, what the fuck happened to Vivek? Vivek stepped away from Doge. Why did Vivek step away from Doge? I got a question about that. Nobody's talked about that. Why did Vivek step away from Doge? I'm just saying. Because he's running for the governor of Ohio? Is that true? Okay, that makes sense. Oh, is that right? Got a little. Oh Lord. Oh, his take on that shit got a little spicy. He had to back away from it. You think that's what it was? Yo, they got real mad at that shit. They got real mad at that shit. Vivek Sir Griswold's running for governor. He don't want to work. Oh man, he running for the governor of Ohio. That's interesting. That's probably an easy win for him, to be honest with you. I think that's an easy win for Vivek. I think Jay right. He don't want to work. He gonna go run for governor of Ohio. He's gonna win that shit in a fucking landslide. He's gonna win it in a landslide. That's the funny part. Oh man, you used to like him. I still didn't know how to feel about Vivek. He said all the right shit, yo. He was like, he was talking Hotep. He was talking Hotep. All right. You heard Vivek talking. He was talking Hotep. He was talking that good shit. But I just was like, yo, I don't know. I didn't know how to feel about him. What's with all the guns? I fucking like guns. That's what it is, Are you triggered by the guns, If you're triggered by the guns, I don't know what to tell you. We stay blessed and stay strapped over here. We stay blessed and stay strapped. That's what we do. What has Vivek done? That man didn't work. He grift. He gonna be mad if he win. He gonna be mad if he win. He just want the clout. He ain't trying to really win nothing. He just want to stay relevant until 2028 when he can run for president again. Is that what it is? Oh man, that is funny. That is funny. Anyway, so let's get to it. Donnie T, man. Donnie T out here signing executive orders left and right, boy. He is out here. They said, hey, Jay, the magic number. They said the magic number of executive orders has been signed as of this morning is 42. That magic number 42 has been that's the number of executive orders allegedly that he has signed. I want to see if he signed the one executive order, which I think he did because we covered it last night. It was on the New York Post, where he said he was going to revoke 51 security clearances from officials that said that the Hunter Biden laptops evidence was fake Russian news. Oh my goodness gracious. I was like, damn, that's one way to get him. That's one way to fucking get him, right? Because a lot of those people who were demonizing him and crucifying him and trying to take him to task and get him locked up and take his head off, right? A lot of them people got security clearances, and Joe Nicholslick did preemptive pardons for a lot of them. Joe Nicholslick covered his ass on the way out the door. He covered a lot of people's asses on the way out the door, and he gave them preemptive pardons. I don't know what the fuck a preemptive pardon is. I've never heard of a preemptive pardon. But he gave him a bunch of preemptive pardons. And guess what? That means that Donnie T can't touch them. Past, present, future type shit. You know what I mean? All sins are forgiven pardons. Means that Donnie T can't touch him on anything that they've done in the past, that they've done to him, and that they might do in the future. But you know what he can do? He can fuck with their money. He can fuck with their money. He can fuck with that money. And you know how you mess with their money like John Brennan and them guys? Let me pull up that article again. Where is it? Here we go. Is this it? Come on, get up. I hate when they do this. Is it right here? That ain't it. That's a new one. The one from yesterday. Oh, fuck it. We use this. How about that? We use a left-leaning outlet. Wow. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Trump moves to revoke clearances of ex-Intel official who signed a letter on Hunter Biden's laptop. That's one way you get them. See, a lot of these people, right, they think they can go away unscathed, right? And Trump like, okay, cool. That's cool with me. But it's not cool with him, but like, all right, cool. All right, that's how y'all gonna play this shit?
All right, we can play it like that. We can play it like that. So while you're getting your preemptive pardons, I'm gonna just preemptively fucking kill your security clearance. So now people like John Brennan, he can't get jobs without his fucking security clearance. James Clapper can't get job without his security clearance. What was the place that Jonah was talking about? West Exec Partners? That John Brennan is like one of the fucking whatever he is with that company. He has no security clearance no more. You fuck with them by taking their money away from them, taking their way of living away from them. Without the security clearance, a lot of them, they can't make any money. So salute to Donnie T on the 40. Chess with that shit. Scorched earth either way. Scorched earth either way. And that's what I'm talking about. You need to go after them one way or another. You can't go after them through the legal system. That's okay. That's okay. That's all right. Bankrupt their asses. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Project Stargate going to materialize new data people out of thin air. We going to get to that, Jay. We going to get to that. We going to get to that. I was watching a prayer service yesterday. Donnie T was falling asleep. Who wasn't? They had like 3 different like religions up there praying. The one black pastor, that nigga, man. He was in full acting mode. Like we've all been, like, I ain't gonna say we've all been to a black church, but I go to a black church and I watch other churches on TV, and like he was over the top with the prayer. He just knew the cameras was there, the spotlight. This is my time to shine, and he just went. He thought he was Martin Luther King Jr. I'm like, come on, y'all. Can you not be the caricature of the Southern black pastor, please? And I'm sure he's a great guy. He probably is a great preacher. He probably can give a good word, but that shit he was putting on. He was putting on yesterday. He was legitimately the caricature of a Southern black pastor. I've seen the mountaintop. I'm like, come on, yo. Just pray for prosperity. Just stop. Just stop. Like, it was cringy. And I love the Lord, guys. I love Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I pray every day. I talk to him every day. I got a foul mouth, and I got to pray about that. Okay, I ask for forgiveness all the time when I get off the stream. Like, Lord, please forgive me for the stuff I said. You know what I mean? All I'm saying is that dude was way over the top. I'm just like, my sister called me like, who is this nigga? She texted me like, who is this nigga up on here cosplaying as a preacher? I was like, I had to tell my sister to chill. I was like, chill, Ashley. Props to the MLK speech. I needed that. Bill Clinton was saying amen, and I agree. Bill Clinton was checking out all that fucking scattered ass around there. I seen him. He wasn't paying attention to nothing else but all that scattered ass around there. That's what he was doing. Come on, let's just be real about that. You know what I mean? You know, same guy. Same guy. Oh my gosh, yo. That was funny. I was watching this. I was like, yo, he tripping. Like, he better stop for Hillary, smack him in the face. Like I was waiting for him to keep looking, and then turn around and then see her just staring at his dumb ass. That shit would have been funny. That shit would have been funny. I'm just saying. Oh my gosh, y'all. I'm trying to find the pictures of all these people that he about to snatch their oh, that's right, I did save it. Hold on. Bookmarks. I thought I saved it. I did. Where the hell it go? That shit gone. What the fuck is all this? Oh, that's that dumb shit. I thought I saved it. Maybe I didn't. Anyway, guys, he gonna snatch 51 clearances, and I think he's snatched more clearances. And he got to figure out a way to get Fauci. He got to figure out a way to get Fauci punk ass. That's the one that I'm mad about. The good doctor. That good doctor took some good people out of here. Okay? That good doctor took some good people out of here. Oh, thanks, Justine. He took some good people out of here. Forcing people to take their yammine. all them crazy arbitrary lockdowns and all this other stuff. Fauci lied and people died, gosh dang it. The views and opinions expressed here on Canon Speaks, Canon Hotep do not represent the views of YouTube or Hotep Nation. Viewer discretion is advised. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But he gets a preemptive pardon, guys. And, you know, when you say preemptive pardon, it's like they did some shit and they was afraid. And Nickel Slick was like, I got y'all. Don't worry about it. If you're getting a preemptive pardon, right, which I think they just made that shit up on the fly. If you're getting a preemptive pardon, that means you did some fucked up shit and somebody got to save you from yourself. That's what that is. And we know that the committee, that committee on Juneteenth, that Juneteenth committee, they all was lying. All of that information, that data, those testimonies, that quote unquote bombshell evidence and witnesses, that shit went up in smoke. Poof, gone. Wonder why. I wonder why. And where were those bombshell witnesses during the impeachment process when they were prosecuting Donnie T or impeached Donnie T over Juneteenth? Is it because they would have perjured themselves under a real oath and not the bullshit they did for the Juneteenth committee? I'm willing to bet that was the issue. I'm willing to bet that was it. Oh, Trump tried to fucking choke out the Secret Service agent. Okay. All right. He's Liam Neeson now. Okay, I got you. He's Steven Seagal in the back of that bitch. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Got you. Right. Right. The Secret Service agents that you hire to protect him. Right. The cream of the crop. The best of the best. Hand-to-hand combat, shooting all that shit. Oh, yeah, Donnie T was whooping that ass inside the limo. Get out of my face. None of that shit would have held up during the process under with his lawyers. That shit was just bread and circuses they put on TV. Adam Schiff was scared out of his fucking mind. He was so scared that he was trying to, he was asking, what's her name, Pam Bondi? Like, all but like, yo, can you gonna tell them not the prosecutors? You gonna tell them not to come after us? That's what he was doing. They got what they wanted. I'm telling you, they blackmailed. They probably blackmailed Joe Nickel Slick. If you don't give us these pardons, Joe, you know we all know where the bodies are buried. You gonna go down with us? I guarantee that was right. That's because Adam Schiff's that type of snake. He's like, if you don't give us these pardons, you're going down with us. I guarantee that shit. Pelosi got one, I think. Liz Cheney, the whole Juneteenth committee got one. Schiff and the good doctor got one on the way out the door. Maybe those 51 other people with the security clearances got one too. But I hope they find a way to get each and every one of them through some kind of process. Because that was some bullshit. Anyway, let's get to these executive orders, y'all. We're going to scroll through this real quick. Where we at on these shits? All right, we're going to use WDSU. News, live, local, late breaking. They had a list of Donnie T's executive orders. So let's go ahead and jump over here real quick. Anyway, I appreciate everybody watching. If you're new, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification icon. It'll let you know when I got new content coming out. Share that stream, guys. Let people know we live. You catching the replay, leave a comment. It'll let you know when I got new content coming out, guys. It'll let you know when I got new content coming out. Let's do this real quick. Boom. Make sure the people over there on the vertical stream can see it. Uh-oh. There we go. Let me see. Make this show a little bigger for y'all, too. Boom. Let's do this. There you go. Wow. All right, so the first one is Donnie T signed an executive order directing the U.S. to withdraw from the Paris Climate Agreement again. As they should. We the only person paying in that stuff. China don't give a shit about the Paris Climate Accord. It's just I'm sorry, y'all. In my opinion, the Paris Climate Accord is a fucking money laundering scheme. Okay, that's just a way to pass money around to these different countries. The United States is the only person paying into this shit. Period. Full stop. We needed to get out of it. We can do all bad by ourselves. The funny part is when it comes to like pollution and stuff, the United States not even in the top 10 with that shit. But we out here funneling all this money into this climate accord. Funneling all this money into the climate accord. And I think Doge needs to get down to the bottom on why we were funneling so much money into the climate accord. Where was that money really going? Who owe us a refund, goddammit? That's what I need to know. That's what I need to know. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see. Trump moves to withdraw the U.S. from the World Health Organization again. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. We know why. We know what happened. We know that bullshit shenanigans that we was doing. It's funny that, right, it used to be like the CDC was like, that's who we went to for everything. Then all of a sudden it was the fucking these people. All of a sudden it was these people. Honestly, in my opinion, they don't need to have nothing to do with nothing when it comes to, those biological issues, we'll say. Trying to stay PG. Oh, I appreciate it, Justine. I try to have a nice, clear, level head about things. The left embracing Bush and Cheney is a whole level of debauchery and denial. Yeah, because it's almost like, I don't know. I tell you, people are NPCs, Jay. We already know. They just go with the fucking wind sometimes. Donnie T pardons in the J6 U.S. Capitol attack. He pardoned up to 1,500 people, and that's what he should have did. A lot of them people was old grandmas who was just shuffling along through the Capitol. We saw the MAGA shaman, not the MAGA shaman. I keep calling the MAGA shaman. The QAnon shaman getting escorted around by Capitol Police. We saw it. We saw them go in and tell people to stop fucking around inside of the main area where they vote and all that other stuff. They prayed in there and they left. It was just people walking around like they was on tour. Now, there was some people that went in people's offices and took pictures and stuff like that. That was fucking stupid. That was just dumb. But again, that was nonviolent. They ain't try to hurt nobody. They just cannon fodder. They're political prisoners, literally, of their own country. And they should be let loose. Yeah, people take their fucking life because they about to do fucking big time over some bullshit, all because they wanted to get a gotcha on Donnie T. It's one big game of risk to them, yo. It's one big game of risk to them. They don't care about you. They just care about their agenda and winning. Money laundering, if you ask me. On another note, Florida had snow. I heard about that. Florida got snow. I see the picture. Somebody said they wanted Donald Trump being in office. And he already debunked global warming, and they showed snow in Florida. That shit was funny to me. The crazy part is y'all ain't even got snow removal stuff down there. I swear, if anybody down there, I'm telling you, if you got I know y'all got ATVs and shit and side by sides, they sell plows for them shits. They sell plows for the side by sides and your ATVs. Grab one and go get some money, yo. Grab one and go get the bag, yo. Grab one and go get the bag. This ain't gonna be the first time that Florida gets snow. I'm just saying. It never rains in Southern California. Don't you about to start singing that Tony. It never rains in Southern California. I bet they wish they had some rain in Southern California. Southern California look like Pompeii. Wait, that fucking fire rolling through that bitch. Oh my God. The way that fire rolling through Southern California is wild. That shit is wild. But salute to Donnie T. That's the first thing he should have did, and I'm happy he did that. Now people that don't need to be locked up or going to jail for 20 years can come home. But I'm telling y'all, if y'all in Florida and you can like go on Amazon, yo, it'll take a couple days. They got snow plows for your side by sides and your ATVs. Mount that shit up and go get some money, yo. What y'all waiting on? You know, now you ain't gonna be able to do the highways or nothing, but you can do your side streets and your main streets and shit like that. Oh, you can get the bag, bro. Yeah, I figure. But I mean, but at the same time, it don't like $300, $400 for a fucking snowplow to mount up to your shit. That's a nice little investment. So when it's snow again, if it's snow next year or whatever, you got it. I'm just saying. You know. Let's see where we at now. Here we go. Trump's executive order keeps TikTok online for now. Keeps TikTok online for now. I'm just saying, I covered this last night, right, with the TikTok ban. They didn't ban TikTok, right? TikTok wasn't banned because China was spying on the American citizens and they were trying to keep us safe. No. It was the fact that China was spying on the U.S. citizens and not the U.S. spying on the U.S. citizens. It's as simple as that. The United States government got a backdoor to every tech company. They got a backdoor to Twitter. We heard about that through the Twitter files. Now, Elon say he got rid of it, but I don't know. They had a backdoor to Meta and all that stuff, WhatsApp, Instagram. The United States government had that. They had a fucking bat phone. Allegedly, Amazon may or may not have took a boatload of money to give the United States government the, access to the back end of Amazon's Alexa and stuff. Pause. The only one they didn't have control of was good old TikTok. They wasn't mad. Oh, China, they're stealing American citizens' information. No, they were like, we need a cut of that shit. We need to be the ones controlling it. So that's what they're trying to do. So the reason why TikTok is up for now is because they're trying to facilitate a sale between TikTok and an American citizen or an American-owned company. And I bet, trust me, and I said this last night, you better believe whoever buys TikTok is doing that with some government funds. They ain't doing it with their own. They're doing it with government funds that the government gives them. I'm thinking that it's probably going to go under the Meta banner. That's just my guess. It's going to go under the Meta banner. But it ain't going to be Zuckerberg's money. It's going to be the United States government's money. So they can have access to all of that information. That's just my guess. They could have passed a data They can't pass a data privacy. I mean, that'd be too much like right, Mike. We already know that. But they definitely abide by their own data privacy law. Oh man. Do you think Biden and Democrats felt the burn in President Trump's inauguration speech? Boy, oh boy, oh boy. We covered. Well, they snatched. Well, it's back up now. It's back up now. Allegedly, it's back up now. Let's see. But they snatched my shit down. Let me see if they put it back. Uh-oh, what's this? Gladiator deadlifts. That's my man Brian Alsrew right there. He the man who should train me in strongman. The fucking man right there. Y'all ain't subscribed to Brian Alsrew and you want to get stronger. You want to get stronger and you need to be subscribed to Brian's channel. Brian Alsrew. Okay? That's the fucking man right there. I'm just gonna let y'all know that shit right there. Anyway, I just want to see something real quick. Let's see. Yeah, they put that shit back up. How about that? Inauguration special. Can this be right there? This shit wasn't streamed a day ago. Why is that right there? That's wild. Anyway, they must have got some shit fucked up. Anyway, yeah, so that's back up. So the inauguration special, Candace, right there. So if you want to go check it out, go check it out. I had way more views than that, but I digress. It's whatever it is. But yeah, it's there. Anyway, I talked about it in that, and yes, that shit was epic. He was slanging them arrows, wasn't he? Donnie T was slanging them arrows, boy, oh boy, oh boy. I know they was feeling it. I was just like, get him. So yeah, he definitely was feeling it. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna say they were scared, but they was all like, damn. If he succeed at anything, if he succeed at all of his tasks or all of his promises, or like, let's just say he succeeds with national reciprocity, and he succeeds with no tax on tips and no tax on overtime, and he does get rid of income tax, he's gonna go down as one of the greatest presidents ever. And the Democrats might not see the Oval Office for quite a while. The question is once he's out of office, is it going to be new boss, same as the old boss? Are they going to go back to business as usual? That's the question. But I digress. But anyway, TikTok's back. All them people can stop reading the Don't Jump book. They was all on the ledge. Oh my God, what am I going to do? This is how I make my money. And I get it. There's some people on TikTok that make the bag. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. They make the bag. I get you. But you knew that shit was coming. You should have started telling your audience to go to Instagram or something. But I guess Instagram ain't paying what TikTok paying. But it's there, and it'll stay there. I knew it wasn't really going to go anywhere. I'm telling you guys. That's why Mark Zuckerberg and the chairman or the CEO of TikTok, that's why they all was there at the inauguration. They probably worked out a deal right then and there on the spot. We're going to figure it out. We're going to find out. They probably did a fucking silent auction on that shit yesterday. I'm just saying, every tech mogul was there. They probably did a silent auction on all that shit. You know what I mean? How am I getting skinny? Intermittent fasting and keto. That's always the go-to for me. I'm down to 280, people. 278. I'm 278. You know what I mean? I'm coming to the grifties fucking jacked. I don't know about tan because it's cold outside, but I'm coming jacked, god dang it. I'm just saying. Executive action freezing Biden's action on Cuba. What's this about? Let's see. Trump reversed an executive order issued by Biden that moved to lift the U.S. Designation of Cuba as a state sponsor of terrorism. Interesting. Biden formally notified Congress just last week of his decision to lift the designation as part of a deal facilitated by the Catholic Church to free political prisoners on the island. Was this like some Mario boat lift type shit? Because that's what it sounded like. I'm just saying, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like some Mario. Am I wrong about that? The day after the announcement, Cuba began releasing people who were convicted of various crimes, including some who were arrested after taking part in the historic 2021 protests, according to Cuban civil groups following the case's detainees on the island. I don't know. I don't know much about that. I gotta look into that a little more. So I don't really have an opinion on that right now. You know. Now that's one thing I will say that Barrio did. Barrio, like, allowing people to travel to Cuba and stuff like that. I thought that was, why not? You know what I mean? Why not? It ain't North Korea or nothing. Like let people travel to Cuba. I heard it's beautiful over there. You know? You know what I mean? Oh, what was it? What the heck was that with the TikTokers revealing they were frauds? I didn't hear about that. That's interesting. What was that up there? I don't know. Hold on. 500 billion for TikTok? That's a lot. $500 billion for TikTok. That's how you know the United States government gonna have some hand in that shit. That's a lot of money for somebody to put out. Just saying. Executive action freezing many new orders by Biden. Trump issued an order freezing many new pending federal regulations, effectively blocking last-minute protections issued by the Biden administration. Such an order is fairly common when a new administration takes over, but it could be the first in a series of moves designated to tamp down what the new president and the other top Republicans have consistently decried as federal overreach. Now, we do know that Nickel Slick, before he got out of office, he put some things in place that was going to make it hard for Trump to overturn a lot of his stuff. And he did that shit at a breakneck pace. You know what I mean? It smells like shit and barbecue in Cuba. Oh my gosh. Jeez. You think about $100 billion? That's what I'm saying. I think they overpricing TikTok. I don't think it's $500 billion. That's wild. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's go on. Executive action ordering federal employees. Hey, executive action ordering federal employees back to work 5 days a week. Give them a round of applause for that. That's all. Here we go. I'm all for that. I am all for it. I know my wife is upstairs pissed, okay? Because her black ass got to go back in the office 5 days a week. Yo, they've been home for like the last, 4 years? Almost 5? Now they got to go back into the office 5 days a week. Now, the reasoning behind this allegedly was because they were like, yo, we paying for all these buildings and they're not occupied. Y'all got to go back to work, right? Now, I see it a little differently, okay? I think one thing that they showed us during the Yamin, you know what I mean, is that you don't need brick and mortar to run operations for a company or whatever, right? You don't need brick and mortar for that. You can do that shit at home. I think it'll be more efficient to allow these employees to work from home, and then you just sell off or cancel your leases with these on these buildings, right? Most people, they work on like an army base or whatever, but if you got like a building that the government owns, sell it, or cancel the lease if it's, you know, in downtown Texas or Crystal City, Virginia or something. Cancel the lease, kill the lease, let them people work home, save your money on these buildings, because I don't even know what y'all paying out in, like, what the government's paying out in leasing these buildings. Kill the leases, let these people work from home. They've been doing it for the last 4 or 5 years now. Save the money. Save them some money. You know? I agree. Now, there's a lady upstairs right now who may or may not be watching this stream, who might disagree with you, Mike, but I'm right there with you. Every time, you know what? We ain't even gonna get into it. I agree. I agree with you, Mike. I 100% agree. I'm just saying. I think this is a good idea. Take y'all asses back to work. I got to get up in the morning and go out there in 9-degree weather and start my truck that don't want to start, or car that don't want to start. I got to take my ass into work and sit behind the desk. I got to do that. Y'all getting up, making y'all coffee, still in y'all pajamas, doing nothing. Laying on your side of the bed with your laptop right there, just logging in and just doing nothing. Go sit at work and do nothing like me, gosh dang it. I'm a hater. That's exactly what I am. What's up, Adam? I'm a hater right now. Take y'all black asses to work. Take y'all asses to work. I gotta go in. Y'all gotta go in too. They probably praying for another fucking pandemic. Please let the bird flu catch. Please let the bird flu catch one. Please let the bird. I guarantee is what they doing. Oh man, that is funny, boy. Executive order on federal hiring freeze. That's interesting. Trump has ordered a federal hiring freeze on his first day back in office, mirroring an action he took at the start of the first term. to try to reduce the size of government. Again, I'm not mad at it. Going back to what Mike says, you know what I mean? Going to what Mike said. What'd you say, Mike? A lot of government employees don't work, especially when they're hired and they're remote. A lot of those jobs, what they doing? Just saying. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Trump rescinds 2021 Title IX order. Trump rescinds 2021 order signaling the Education Department would use Title IX to protect against discrimination based on gender identity, sexual orientation. The Biden administration later went further to cement that interpretation into federal regulation, but it was overturned after Republican-led states challenged the rule in the federal court. Rescinding the order won't have much effect on schools and colleges, but it clears the slate for other actions taken by the Trump administration. Trump also rescinded the Cove-based era order, directing federal officials to give school guidance on reopening during AME, I guess. The order issued on Biden's second day in office also required the Education Department to explore the pandemonium. Disparate? I can't even talk. Jesus. Desperate impacts on students of color and students with disabilities. Oh my goodness gracious. Anyway, what y'all think about this Title IX thing? What y'all think about that? You know what I mean? Now, as far as like, protect against discrimination based on gender identity and sexual orientation. Like, you see how they try to word things, gender identity and sexual orientation. Nobody's discriminating on that shit. We just don't want y'all fucking pushing that shit in school. That shit don't need to be taught in school. Y'all got our kids coming home all fucked up in the head, allowing kids to fucking have litter boxes and be furries and shit. Like, no. See, Mike already get it. Trump immigration order restores 2017 deportation criteria. So we already know what that is. He put the Remain in Mexico shit back. Trump ain't fucking around. He about to start deporting people, and you got all these people here spreading all this misinformation. Oh my God, if you're an immigrant in America, he's going to deport you. No, he's not going to deport you. If you're an illegal immigrant in America, yeah, you're getting the fuck up out of here. If you're an illegal immigrant, they want you to think that he coming after everybody, illegal or legal, visa or no visa. That's not true. If you're illegal, your ass, you better go hide. If you're legal, you're good. Period. So he got the Remain in Mexico order is a thing. He about to deport all these criminals. He said he going after the criminals first. Going to deport all these criminals that Joe Nicholslick let in through that southern border. Because let's be real, they let a lot of criminals, impossible terrorist cells, come through that southern border, and we need to root them out and get them up out of here. Period. Did you see that woman bishop at the Episcopalian Church? President Trump and his family and Vance and his family attended today. No, I didn't see that. Trump directs Attorney General to help states get lethal injection drugs. Oh my gosh. Trump said death penalty. Trump has signed a sweeping executive order on the death penalty, directing the Attorney General to take all necessary and lawful action to ensure that states have enough lethal injection drugs to carry out executions. Carry out executions. Trump wrote that politicians and judges who oppose capital punishment have defied and subverted the laws of our country. Damn, Trump. Trump said, nah, zero tolerance. You know, now hopefully, you know, they use a microscope when it comes to like using lethal injection and giving people the death penalty. You know what I mean? You got some people that's on death row right now that's probably innocent. You know what I mean? But you got a lot of people on death row that just need their fucking lights turned out. And I don't think lethal injection drugs is the problem. I think it's the process by which they'll be on death row for like 40 fucking years or 30 years before they fucking walk down the fucking hallway. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Hopefully, like, I don't know how to feel about that. Like, I think like pedophiles, turn their lights out. Rapists, turn their lights out. But y'all better make damn sure that they the ones that fucking did it. If there's any type of reasonable doubt, then y'all gotta fucking figure it out. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Is that it? Is that all I got? That's all I got for right now. Yeah, but I guess that's it so far. I mean, they said it was 42. So I guess that's all this they had. I know I ain't read through 42 of them, but the ones we read, I mean, Trump on a roll right now. Trump is off to the races. He is working at a breakneck pace to get back to where he's fucking left off. There's a lot of stuff that he has to roll back. Right? A lot of Biden era stuff he has to roll back and reinstate before we get back to square one. But we waiting for it, and hopefully that should come, you know, sooner rather than later. Because right now, before he took office, gas was creeping right back up. Groceries are still expensive. Interest rates are still pretty goddamn high. And the average American citizen can't afford to live. They gotta have a fucking extra hustle, extra job just to fucking make ends meet. There's people that make $100,000 a year that gotta there's people that make $100,000 a year that gotta have a fucking part-time job just to make ends meet. That's crazy. $100,000 a year is to need $30,000 in America. Hopefully Donnie T can reverse that. So we'll see about that. We will see about that. So the one thing we need to do a deep. Hey yo, Jay, let me know if you're interested, yo. We need to do a deep dive on Silk Road. Now, I remember back probably 2014, 2015, I used to listen to this show. You know what? What time is it? Hold on. Maybe we do that right now. Let me see. Are they still doing their thing or no? Hold on, bear with me for a second, y'all. Hold on, I know it's here. Give me 1 second. Let's see. This it right here. I think this is it right here. All right, I think I found it. Let me just double check it real fast. Yeah, I got it. Cause like, so when they were talking about, Trump just, I guess he pardoned, what's his name? Ross Albright. But I never knew him as a Ross Albright, right? I always knew him as the Dread Pirate Roberts. Because like, this is podcast. They don't do anything anymore. They don't do their show anymore. But, they have a fantastic show called, Liar City. Liar City is fucking great. It's fucking great. So I was gonna let us listen to the episode where they go down, because a lot of people don't know who Ross Albright is or the Dread Pirate Roberts is, right? So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna listen to this real quick. If you want to listen to it, feel free to stick around. If you want to get some backstory on the Dread Pirate Roberts and what he did and why he went to jail and all that other stuff, feel free. So we're going to go ahead and educate you guys on this. I remember listening. This was from I think this was from 10 years ago. September 5th, 2015. That's when he did this episode. I used to listen to this show while I was working, and it was just a fan share. They're good storytellers. So anyway, let's get to it.
Everybody lies. Some are terrible at it. Some do it frighteningly well. Sooner or later, most of us get caught. What comes next is the most interesting thing in all the world: the truth. This is Liar City.
Yeah, the Homeboy Protocol was down there. He's a Proud Boys member. Shout out to Protocol. Again, this is so.
All right, hello. Welcome to another episode of Liar City. I'm your host, Brian.
So this is Liar City Podcast. If you guys want to go back and listen to any of their back catalog, is still up. It's a fucking fantastic show. I promise you. They're timeless. You can start from when they even start doing their first podcast on the way up. They're interesting stories, man. I mean, this is one of the ones that I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed this one. And when they said that there's Ross Albright, and then they said Silk Road, and I'm like, don't they mean a Dread Pirate Roberts? But I didn't know, that was his fucking Silk Road name. But I digress. Let's go.
And with me this week, we got Darian.
It's good to be here again, sir.
Is it really?
Oh, absolutely. It's great. It's great to be here. How about
Shout
that?
out to Chad Dukes.
Appreciate that.
At the Chad Duke Show. He's the one that
this week I
introduced
started
me
watching
to this show.
a new show on Netflix called Narcos. Have you seen it yet?
No, but I've heard about it. It's like about Pablo Escobar and that kind of thing.
It is. It's about infamous cartel kingpin Pablo Escobar, but really it's about the world's efforts to take him down. And
Right.
it's fun as a time capsule.
Yeah, period piece.
Yeah, for that period of time when the war on drugs was a really big thing in our world, and back in the Miami Vice times,
Right,
when
yeah.
Miami was the cocaine and
So that's
murder
not
capital of
actually the Dread Pirate
world.
Roberts in that picture,
And
Justine.
watching
That's
it got me thinking
that's from the
about
Princess Bride, I believe.
the current
He's from the Princess
state
Bride.
of
That guy, I
like the
believe.
drug culture.
State of the drug union.
Yeah, so to speak. And in particular, it got me thinking about this guy that I've seen compared kind of unfavorably a little bit to Pablo Escobar,
Okay.
which is a guy affectionately known as the Dread Pirate Roberts.
Ah, now I see.
So that's what we're talking about this week. Now, this guy that the world knew only as the Dread Pirate Roberts for a while ran the most successful internet-based drug/illegal goods marketplace called the Silk Road. Now, the Silk Road combined
So the Silk Road was the dark web before the dark web was the dark web. It was the Silk Road.
two technologies to create an anonymous marketplace.
Yeah.
He did it.
Those two technologies being Tor and Bitcoin. And we won't go heavy into it because it's fantastically boring. But I thought
Which part?
both.
Okay.
I thought real quick I could get you to explain what Bitcoin is, since you are the guy, the only guy I've ever known,
The Bitcoin guy?
the Bitcoin guy.
Yeah.
So do your best to explain it for the people at home, keeping in mind that the people at home have lives and girlfriends and other shit to do, and we can't waste their time.
All right, well, I'll try my damnedest. Bitcoin is a virtual currency, or what is commonly known as a cryptocurrency.
Okay.
It's open source, and it lacks any centralized bank.
I was
Like
trying
it's
to fast forward it,
decentralized.
but I don't
It's
see it anymore. Where the
worldwide.
fuck
It's
is it?
throughout the network.
I'm sorry. You lost me there for a
All
second.
right, I got it. Well, it's good for an international currency because it's not tied to any one government or any nation's capital.
Okay. So it's fake internet money.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Now, Tor is short for the onion router,
Right.
which is basically the quick and dirty version of it is all the traffic that's on the internet is traceable via IP addresses.
Yeah.
Which is every device on the internet has its own specific number. The onion router hides that,
Mostly, yes.
does what it can to hide that and facilitate anonymous communications in a lot of different ways. So the Silk Road used both of these technologies, Bitcoin and Tor, to create an anonymous, safe community of drug dealers and drug purchasers.
Largely, yes. Yeah.
Okay. Now, your early interest in Bitcoin is what led me to this story pretty near its beginning.
Yeah.
And I've been riveted every step of the way. So let's get to it. There's a guy, and for a while at least, nobody has any idea who he is. He creates the Silk Road online drug marketplace in January 2011. And the site uses Tor and Bitcoin for anonymity, and it looks a little bit like Amazon.com. You add some drugs to your cart, you pay for them, and then you get the drugs in the mail. And the site takes a small percentage for facilitating. Now, here's an excerpt from the initial advertising. This is part of the text on what was silkroad420.wordpress.com as it appeared in January 2011. At Silk Road, every precaution is made to ensure your anonymity and security, from connecting to the site to making your transactions to receiving your items. Current offerings include marijuana, shrooms, and MDMA. You may also sell items anonymously on Silk Road as an independent seller. So what are you waiting for? Install Tor and go to Silk Road now. Signed, Silk Road staff.
Well, that seems so sweet for something so illegal.
It does. And the mysteriousness of it, the fact that it actually worked and wasn't a scam,
I suppose it does have that going for it, yeah.
was a very surprising thing. And little by little, people started using it and having positive experiences.
And sharing those, there was a feedback system, as I recall.
There was. And once launched, things go on that way, little by little, through word of mouth. And things go on that way for about 6 months. And after 6 months, the popularity of the site absolutely explodes. And what's the reason? A popular website called Gawker.
Yep.
How many of y'all remember Gawker?
They put a little piece out. And here's an excerpt from that article that appeared on Gawker in June 2011. Making small talk with your pot dealer sucks. Buying cocaine can get you shot. What if you could buy and sell drugs online like books or light bulbs? Now you can. Welcome to Silk Road. Kind of sounds like an advertisement. It's a better advertisement than their advertisement.
Yeah. Although I've never bought light bulbs online, I'll go with that.
About 3 weeks ago, the U.S. Postal Service delivered an ordinary envelope to Mark's door. Inside was a tiny plastic bag containing 10 tabs of LSD. If you had opened it, unless you were looking for it, you wouldn't have even noticed, Mark told us in a phone interview.
That's a fact.
Mark, a software developer, had ordered the 100 micrograms of acid through a listing on the online marketplace Silk Road. He found a seller with lots of good feedback who seemed to know what they were talking about, added the acid to his digital shopping cart, and hit checkout. He entered his address and paid the seller 50 bitcoins, untraceable digital currency, worth around $150. 4 days later, the drugs, sent from Canada, arrived at his house. It kind of felt like I was in the future, Mark said. Silk Road, a digital black market that sits just below most internet users' purview, does resemble something from a cyberpunk novel. Through a combination of anonymity, technology, and a sophisticated user feedback system, Silk Road makes buying and selling illegal drugs as easy as buying used electronics, and seemingly as safe. It's Amazon, if Amazon sold mind-altering chemicals. Here is just a small selection of the 340 items available for purchase on Silk Road by anyone, right now. A gram of Afghani hash, an 1/8 ounce of sour 13 weed, 14 grams of ecstasy, 1 gram tar heroin.
Damn.
A listing for Avatar LSD includes a picture of blotter paper with big blue faces from the James Cameron movie on it. That's kind of a dated reference,
Yeah,
huh?
see, well, the drug culture was keeping up, apparently.
Our community is amazing, Silk Road's anonymous administrator, known on forums as Silk Road, told us in an email. They are generally bright, honest, and fair people.
So, like, they were using, like, back then, they were using Bitcoin for what Bitcoin was supposed to be used for. So it would be decentralized, untraceable currency. The funny part, again, shout out to Chad Dukes and the Big On Duke show when it was around, because the one co-host that was on the show, Oscar, he was railing about fucking Bitcoin. You got to get in on the Bitcoin. And I'm just sitting there listening to the show like, what the fuck is this, like Mario coins? And I'm laughing. The shit was like 13 cents a share or something. And I just thought it was crazy. And then boom, fucking Bitcoin took off. Like, damn, shit, listen to fucking Oscar. God damn it. Anyway, let's get back to it.
Understanding and willing to cooperate with each other. So that went live.
Yeah, before he took on the legacy name of Dread Powder Roberts.
Now, Silk Road was tiny before this. They had 1,000 users and roughly 20 vendors in April 2011.
And apparently 300 items you could buy.
Right. But this article was the catalyst. It soon blew up. And at its height, which came pretty soon after, it had about 1 million users who made over $1 billion worth of purchases.
Wow.
Most of which was drugs, and all of which came right to your door via the United States Postal Service. And pretty soon, there were rumblings on the nightly news, scary segments like this one from our city, from Tampa, in June 2011.
LSD, cocaine, and ecstasy are now just a click of a mouse away. A new website sells illegal drugs to anyone who is willing to pay. But as I-Team investigator Michael George uncovered, the people who run the site stand by what they're doing. And for now, business is booming.
You can get anything on the internet nowadays. Cars, homes, and now black tar heroin. This is Silk Road, the anonymous marketplace. It's a 4-month-old website boasting thousands of members. On the main page, they proudly and openly sell LSD, marijuana, and ecstasy.
He is basically the eBay or the Amazon of the drug trafficking world.
And just like eBay or Amazon, there are customer reviews saying things like highly professional, amazing product, sellers' photos of drugs, and disclaimers saying their product may cause illness, coma, and/or death.
I'm almost speechless because to see that a website like this can exist is frightening.
Dan Van Bommel is a recovering addict and an addiction therapist at Turning Point of Tampa. He says Silk Road is a dangerous new concept.
A drug addict will look for any way to get their addiction fed. And so when you provide an avenue that makes it easier for them, they're going to abuse it.
An administrator who runs the website disagrees. He answered my questions by email, though he wouldn't give us his name. He writes that Silk Road is satisfying people and enriching their lives. And Silk Road takes its security seriously. The web address isn't even silkroad.com. It's a seemingly random collection of letters and numbers. And even if you were to enter that on your computer at home, you wouldn't get in. To get in, you need to download a program that hides your identity and prevents others from tracing you. I asked the administrator of the site about the addicts who could die because of products sold through Silk Road. He said, quote, "I'm so sorry if someone you know has been hurt by drugs, but it's my sincere hope that by making drugs available in a safe, secure, and predictable way, that we will eliminate the violence and danger of obtaining and using drugs through traditional methods."
I see that as insanity. It makes absolutely no sense.
The funny part is that that's what the United States of America is doing. Okay, not only did we just legalize marijuana and you can get that shit fucking mail ordered and all that other shit. You can get fucking dick pills online now, bluechew.com. You know, that's, you know, they need to go ahead and pay me for that one. You know what I mean? And then not to mention the fucking government trap houses, right? The fucking government trap houses that they put up, safe injection sites and shit where you can go and shoot your crack and wash your clothes in the same fucking building. Remember that shit? I did a whole video on that shit. I did a whole video on the government fucking trap house show. Anyway, go ahead.
At all. And again, this is what this person will say to justify his behavior.
The DEA won't confirm whether or not they're investigating Silk Road. Captain Robert Alfonso heads the narcotics division of the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, and he says the law on websites like Silk Road is still vague, and even if it's shut down, there will be copycats.
It will probably take, for lack of a better phrase, an act of Congress. There maybe have to be a law change into the internet usage.
Dan Van Bommel says Silk Road needs to be shut down as soon as possible.
You cannot possibly offer acid to people and think that that's helpful.
Even the administrator of the website admitted.
So this podcast was done September of 2015. September 2015. Again, shout out to Liar City Podcast. I wish they were still doing that thing, man. I really do. This show was dope. Like I said, I'll go back and listen to their back catalog. It's fucking fantastic. Maybe if they start to see more traffic moving, they might come back and start doing them again. The shit was great, man. Ryan and Bryn and what was it, Ian, I think his name was? This shit was fucking great. Anyway, keep it going.
To me, he's not sure how long Silk Road will last, but in his own words, he says it's worth the risk.
Now, that sounds pretty scary.
Right, yeah.
However, there is a benefit to what this guy was doing in that
if he honestly believes it the way he was explaining it, yes.
Drug purchasing is, I don't know anymore because I'm not cool enough, but buying drugs in real life is an inherently scary thing to do, and you run up against violent people, scam artists, things of that nature.
Usually when people are into one crime, they're into other crimes.
It's not a safe thing to do.
It's very risky.
They can stay right
the
where
idea of harm reduction and trust and illegal goods doesn't really go hand in hand. But this guy, known then as admin or Silk Road, wanted to change all that. But people obviously went insane over it. And no less a bigwig than Senator Chuck Schumer.
Oh, y'all know that name. Old Chuck Raw Dog Schumer. Old Chuck Raw Dog Schumer. Of course he wanted to fucking stop it. It was cutting into his big pharma money. That's what it was. Chuck Schumer. Ain't nothing fucking benevolent about Chuck Schumer. He looked like a Disney villain.
Now, for the first year or so, the guy behind everything went by the name Silk Road or admin. But he started to become more active on the user forums. And he decided to come up with an identity of his own. And on February 5th, 2012, he became the Dread Pirate Roberts.
Oh, no, that's a good reference.
Now, I don't think there's a lot of people at home who don't get the reference, but just in case.
Our listening audience, yeah.
Just in case, it comes from a movie called The Princess Bride.
I thought that's what it was from, yeah.
And here's a little explanation about the name.
Roberts and I eventually became friends. And then it happened.
What? Go on.
Well, Roberts had grown so rich, he wanted to retire. So he took me to his cabin, told me his secret. I am not the Dread Pirate Roberts, he said. My name is Ryan. I inherited the ship from the previous Dread Pirate Roberts, just as you will inherit it from me. The man I inherited from was not the real Dread Pirate Roberts either. His name was Cummerbund. The real Roberts has been retired 15 years and living like a king in Patagonia. Thank you. Then he explained that the name was the important thing for inspiring the necessary fear. You see, no one would surrender to the Dread Pirate Wesley. So we sailed ashore, took on an entirely new crew, and he stayed aboard for a while as first mate, all the time calling me Roberts. And once the crew believed, he left the ship, and I have been Roberts ever since. Except now that we're together, I shall retire and hand the name over to someone else. Is everything clear to you?
So the definition of a legacy character right there.
Right. The concept is, I am not the first. I am not the last. I'm eternal.
Right.
I'm the Dread Pirate Roberts. Which is pretty clever for a guy who is now being hunted by every government agency with letters. It's plausible deniability.
Right.
Now, the Dread Pirate Roberts, DPR, as he's known,
okay,
was a super libertarian.
Now y'all see why the libertarians wanted him released. He was one of them. But off topic. The Princess Bride is a fucking fantastic movie, okay? Princess Bride is a fucking fantastic movie. Now I want to go watch the movie.
And into Austrian economic theory. Ludwig von Mises. And all that shit is way too complicated to bother with.
It's the more boring part of the story, but if you're interested, it's out there.
I'll boil it down real quick. DPR was for total freedom from all government. And this obviously includes drug prohibition.
Uh-huh.
And once he put the name in place, he was free to talk economic theory, drug use, and he even at one point had a Dread Pirate Roberts book club. Swear to God.
Okay.
So here's a little quote from some of his many, many, many posts on the Silk Road user forums. Silk Road was founded on libertarian principles and continues to be operated on them. It is a great idea and a great practical system, but it is not a utopia. It is regulated by market forces, not a central power. Even I am subject to market forces by my competition. No one is forced to be here. The same principles that have allowed Silk Road to flourish can and do work anywhere human beings come together. The only difference is that the state is unable to get their thieving, murderous mitts on it.
That's right.
It's a privilege to have a stage to speak from here. It doesn't get said enough, and it is hard to get across in this medium, but I love you. Who knew that a softie could lead an international narcotics organization? Behind my wall of anonymity, I don't have to intimidate, thankfully. But yeah, I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being my comrades. Thank you for being yourselves and bringing your unique perspectives and energy. And on a personal note, thank you for giving me the best job in the world. I've never had so much fun. I know we've been at it for over a year now, but really we are just getting started. I'm so excited and anxious for our future, I could burst.
I love you, man.
Now, he sounds like a naive kid.
Yeah.
But nobody knows who he is. The speculation is partly that he's a naive kid.
You know, based on sentence structure and that sort of thing.
And partly that he is, maybe a 60-year-old mastermind applying Austrian economics to the drug war.
So he's either a dumb kid or a super genius, I see.
And everything in between. Now, as a super popular online drug bazaar, that's obviously attracting attention. And they've been after the Silk Road and Dread Pirate Roberts basically from its inception. But they can't get to the Dread Pirate Roberts' real-life identity. At least not yet. So they try another way in. And here's what happens. A guy named Mark Force.
Excellent name.
Yeah. He's a hotshot DEA agent.
With a name like Mark Force, of course he is.
Right. And he creates an account on the Silk Road using the name Nod. And begins trying to contact the Dread Pirate Roberts.
That sounds like a fucking
He creates a backstory for himself.
Okay.
An undercover identity. And undercover, he's Eladio Guzman, a South American cartel operative who smuggles massive amounts of cocaine and heroin into the United States.
Now, is that based on a real person?
No. His character is also blind in one eye for some reason.
It's a better character.
Yeah. So this guy sends a message to DPR with the subject Nod Business Proposal. And here's the text of that message. This is April 2012. Mr. Silk Road, I am a great admirer of your work. Brilliant, utterly brilliant. I will keep this short and to the point. I want to buy the site. I've been in the business for over 20 years. Silk Road is the future of trafficking. Sincerely, E.
Mr. Silk Road.
Now, amazingly, the Dread Pirate Roberts responded to that message from a total stranger. And here's what he said. I'm open to the idea. What did you have in mind? Eventually, there's some back and forth, and DPR settled on a price that he'd let his baby go for.
Okay.
$1 billion.
Followed by evil laughter.
Now, he explains. This is more than a business to me. It's a revolution and is becoming my life's work. It would not be easy for me to pass the baton without hurting the enterprise. And right now, that is more important to me than the money. So,
again, someone who sounds like they believe in their twisted principles.
So, DPR and the DEA agent become...
I mean, was his principles really twisted, though? $1 billion. That's wild. Like, honestly, like, I think if the Silk Road would probably exist today, to be honest with you. I mean, the dark web, you know, that's all that's all the Silk Road is the dark web. The dark web's around now. Twisted because he wanted personal freedom. I think we all want that personal freedom. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Anyway, let's keep it going. $1 billion. Come on. Them 3-letter agencies, they had it. They about to spend $500 billion allegedly on TikTok soon.
Friends online. They chat pretty often about life and drugs and philosophy and why Mexicans really like the Smiths.
Okay.
That's in there for some reason. All that stuff. So by this point, DPR has hired a few people to help run the site, answer emails, handle disputes, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And he pays a few different people anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 a week, which is
not bad.
Not bad at all. Tax-free in Bitcoin.
In Bitcoin, no less.
And one of these guys goes by the name Chronic Pain. And he's a guy that DPR trusts, partially because DPR makes him send him a scan of his driver's license.
Oh, okay.
So he's got something on him.
Makes sense.
Now, some time goes by, and Nod, remember, the DEA agent,
right,
starts intimating that he'd like to sell his products on Silk Road, but that the quantities normally found are too small. He's a big player.
Right, so he wants to make a big sell.
Yeah. So the Dread Pirate Roberts starts poking around for someone who can handle kilos of cocaine. And who does he land on? Chronic Pain. So they make a deal. DPR is going to front the money for the kilo to Chronic Pain, who is then going to sell it on the Silk Road in smaller quantities.
Right.
Makes sense. They get their hands on some uncut Peruvian flake, what have you.
Whatever.
And get in this cartel guy's good graces. So the package arrives at Chronic Pain's house, and he opens it, and somehow, in opening it, he gets it all over himself. His face is literally covered in cocaine.
So it's like a Lucy show gag. It's just...
Yeah. And that's when the DEA rolls in.
Damn.
It turns out that Chronic Pain is a 40-something-year-old Mormon guy
What's up,
in
Martian,
Utah named Curtis Green.
Mm-hmm.
And before he can even be cuffed, he's screaming, saying, I'll tell you everything you want to know, but please don't arrest me. The Dread Pirate Roberts has my name and address. He'll know if I get arrested, and he'll have me killed. They arrest him anyway.
Yeah.
But not before DEA agent Mark Force, a.k.a. Eladio Guzman, a.k.a. Nod, puts...
It's always one, It's always one, right? They probably had shit on him, and they did this, what's that movie, Snitch with The Rock? They had shit on him, and they got his dumb ass. They entrapped, what's his name? Major Payne. What the fuck they said his name was? His ass, he ain't even he just ready to turn on. He's like, give me a grape soda. I'm ready to talk.
Mm-hmm.
And before he can even be cuffed, he's screaming, saying, I'll tell you everything you want to know, but please, please don't arrest me. The Dread Pirate Roberts has my name and address. He'll know if I get arrested and he'll have me killed. They arrest him anyway.
Yeah.
But not before DEA agent Mark Force, a.k.a. Eladio Guzman, a.k.a. Nod, puts his phone number in Green's phone and says, call me when you get out.
Right on.
Now, as predicted, DPR does find out that he's been arrested. And he's also under the impression that after he makes bail, Chronic Pain has logged into the site and stolen a bunch of Bitcoins from users. Like a few $100,000 worth.
Damn.
Jesus.
That part isn't true. But what happens next absolutely is. He sends a message to Nod and asks him if he would mind going to Chronic Pain's house and torturing him.
Just a little. Yeah, just a little torture.
To get the Bitcoins back and find out if he's flipped, if he's working with the government.
Hey, yo.
He pays Nod some Bitcoin, and Nod sends back a video
a little too
of him
trustworthy.
repeatedly shoving Chronic Pain's face into a toilet. It's obviously staged because he's a DEA agent.
Right, right, yeah.
Yo.
So, you know the phrase power corrupts, but absolute power corrupts absolutely?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the Dread Pirate Robert then sends Nod a message to ask him if he wouldn't mind changing the order from torture to execute. Wow. He sends Nod, a DEA agent, mind you,
I mean,
80 grand in
know
Bitcoin, and then they stage a photo of his corpse.
Wow.
Yo, so that's where he went wrong. That's dumb. Fucking dumbass. Like, how you trust the motherfuckers you never met? You know them only on the internet. And you trust them with a fucking task like that. What? He should have been smart enough to know I can't leave a trail of this shit. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man, that's crazy. He was never charged with it? So is it alleged? You think the DEA making that shit up? They're probably making that shit up. But that's crazy if that's true. That's nuts. Yeah, let me have this guy that I don't even fucking know go pull some dumbass shit up.
Right.
Nice.
So the DEA has discovered that the Dread Pirate Roberts is willing to kill to protect himself. They file an indictment. For the moment, it's under the name John Doe. But it gets worse pretty quick. A user of the site sends DPR a message saying that he has the real names and addresses of hundreds of Silk Road users and dozens of vendors.
Right, blackmail, that kind of stuff.
And that unless he pays him 500 grand, he's going to publish it. And this guy's name, well, his username, is Friendly Chemist. And he's doing this, he says, because he owes his suppliers a lot of money, and he'll be killed if he doesn't pay up. So DPR writes back and says, have your supplier contact me, and I'll see if something can't be worked out.
You tell them to get a hold of me. I'll
Yeah.
take care of this.
So they contact him. Someone using the username Red and White contacts him.
Okay.
And the Dread Pirate Roberts, under the assumption that the guy he's speaking to is a high-ranking Hell's Angel,
Red and white, yeah.
asks him if he could go ahead and kill Friendly Chemist for him. And Red and White says, sure, for $250,000. And the Dread Pirate Roberts tries to haggle him down, saying, well, that seems a little high because I had a clean hit done not long ago for $80,000.
Guy's getting ripped off left and right on his hits, I'll say that much.
But again, the guy does it, sends him photographic proof, and then the Dread Pirate Roberts asks Red and White, a total stranger,
Right.
who he only knows by the username Red and White,
But he killed that other guy. Come on.
if his organization would like to vend on the Silk Road, and then loans this anonymous person $500,000 to set up shop.
Yeah, remember earlier when he was talking about trust?
Wild. So check this out, y'all.
Maybe you should learn a lesson.
So this is from, what is this from? Hold up. ICE.gov. So check this out. So this is, my big ass face is in the way. Hold on. Albrecht, 31 of San Francisco, California, was convicted of the following 7 offenses after a 4-week jury trial. Distributing narcotics by means of the internet, conspiracy to distribute narcotics, engaging in a continuing criminal enterprise, conspiring to commit computer hacking, conspiring to traffic in false identity documents, and conspiring to commit money laundering. He got life for that shit. But nowhere in those documents did he was a conspiracy to commit murder or whatever it is, or conspiracy to whatever it would be. That's crazy. That means that the DEA probably made that shit up to even try to get him on that shit. That's crazy. That shit should, if he was going to conspire to commit murder, that should have been a fucking charge. But they probably made that shit up all day. So they would have had the correspondence saying that.
The general consensus is that Friendly Chemist and Red and White are the same person, and that they just scammed DPR. And it should be noted for the record that of 6 hits, six hits arranged over the course of time by DPR, there is no evidence that anyone was ever actually killed. It was all cops and or scammers. Now, around this time, reports of people being arrested, of drugs seized by the Postal Service, this stuff was getting a lot more common. Law enforcement started to keep kind of a better eye out, and it got a little harder to hide suspicious packages. So, the Dread Pirate Roberts was the head, the mastermind, if you will, of the Silk Road, but he was also an occasional customer.
He'd like to buy some of the supply?
Yeah, right around this time, something pretty interesting happened. He purchased a bunch of fake IDs with various names on them, but his real picture.
Yeah, that is another thing they sold.
Yeah. And of course, the package was intercepted at customs, came from Canada, and Homeland Security subsequently paid a visit to his apartment. He denied knowing anything about the phony IDs.
I don't know why you have a stack of my picture.
And then said to the agents, I swear to God, anyone could order a thing like that using Silk Road and Tor.
He was advertising.
He wasn't arrested, and after a while, the agents just left. Now, you would think, you're a thinking man, at this point, you would think that the Dread Pirate Roberts would leave the country and retire with his estimated $50 to $80 million fortune.
Right, yeah. You spend the rest of your life in Patagonia?
You'd go somewhere without an extradition treaty and live the rest of your life happily.
Facts.
But he didn't.
Nope.
And the whole time, DEA agents, FBI, all of them, they're piecing together the puzzle. And as with a lot of things, it's the simple things that bring you down. Right at the beginning of the Silk Road saga, he'd posted on a Bitcoin forum using his real name attached to his email address. He changed it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But the damage was done. They eventually found it. They pieced it together. They went back. And then they found the Silk Road servers in Iceland because the CAPTCHA was leaking on the Silk Road website. And it revealed the real IP address. Found it in Iceland, copied it, and they learned everything they needed to know. And it's all over. So here's what they do. They had Nod, a.k.a. Eladio, a.k.a. Agent Mark Force. They had him ask DPR to log in and check out a support ticket. And they followed DPR from his home to the San Francisco Public Library. So here's what they did.
Jeez.
They had Nod, where he was using Wi-Fi, and they arrested him with his laptop opened and logged into the Silk Road admin page, appropriately named Mastermind.
Dead to rights. They got him dead to rights.
Now here's what happens next.
Now to that stunning arrest of the drug kingpin who goes by the name Dread Pirate Roberts appears to have cornered the internet drug market. His real name is Ross Ulbricht, and his website, Silk Road, is packed with products like cocaine and heroin. ABC's Gio Benitez is here with all the details. Good morning, Gio.
George, good morning to you. The FBI calls it the most sophisticated criminal marketplace on the internet. Thousands of drug dealers used it to sell drugs and completely hide their identities. This morning, the FBI says the 29-year-old seemingly clean-cut entrepreneur was living a secret life as a digital drug lord, operating an online black market bazaar called Silk Road, often referred to as the eBay for drugs. Here's an online commercial. Now Ross Ulbricht is in federal custody, arrested Tuesday, and the site he allegedly ran shut down after a 2-year undercover operation.
Very sophisticated, very intellectual individual who took those skills and those talents and developed an online website that marketed illegal
up,
goods,
Ashay?
illegal services.
Just look at some of the 13,000 items offered through that underground site. Ultra clean cocaine, clean and real LSD, high grade MDMA, also known as Molly, all with fast and free shipping. Court documents say Silk Road sold $1.2 billion worth of drugs and illegal services in just under 3 years.
Damn. 1.2 billion in under 3 years. The United States government was like, "Nah, we need our cut. We ain't getting our cut. He got to shut this nigga down." That's what they did with Cocaine Cowboys. That's what they did in Miami. They let them drugs build that goddamn Miami skyline, and then when they wasn't getting their cut and that shit got out of hand, they shut that shit down. It's the same thing they did with the Silk Road.
They were comfortable operating in that environment because they felt that they enjoyed complete anonymity.
Investigators say the Penn State graduate tried hiding his identity on Silk Road with the username Dread Pirate Roberts, just like in the movie The Princess Bride.
You're the Dread Pirate Roberts, admit it.
With pride.
Even so, it seems at least one Silk Road user threatened to reveal the identities of thousands of others. So, investigators say Ulbricht tried to execute a murder for hire on that user, offering $150,000 to a would-be hitman because, quote, "This kind of behavior is unforgivable to me, especially here on Silk Road. Anonymity is sacrosanct."
Just because the Silk Road has been shut down doesn't mean that this concept is going to go away very easily. The operator made $80 million in fees. That is a huge incentive.
$80 million. Well, Ulbricht's attorney, a public defender, has not returned our calls for comment. But investigators say his key mistake, he allegedly used his personal email address for nearly all Silk Road communication.
Now, they got a little bit of that wrong, obviously.
Public defender?
This was the day he was arrested.
Okay.
He had a good lawyer.
You could afford one.
But what they got wrong is that he used his personal email for all communications. Not true.
Yes.
Just the one time registered on a Bitcoin forum.
That was enough.
And quickly changed it. But that was enough. You're right. So they got the guy. And it turned out to be 29-year-old Ross Ulbricht, a clean-cut kid from Texas who was into libertarian philosophy and Austrian economics.
Yep, just a dumb kid.
Living in a shared apartment in San Francisco. Paid $1,000 a month for a room.
No questions asked.
No. He, of course, denied being the Dread Pirate Roberts and pled not guilty, but they pretty much had him. He had his laptop open to the admin page.
And he still tried to pin it on someone else.
And the rest, as they say, is history. And he was convicted on all charges just a few months ago and sentenced to life in prison. Here's a little clip on that.
We begin with breaking news as Ross Ulbricht, the alleged founder of the Silk Road website, has been found guilty on all the charges against him. As we've been telling you, Ulbricht is accused of being the Dread Pirate Roberts, the mastermind behind the site which allowed for the illegal selling of narcotics, fake IDs, and other illegal goods sold online using cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. I was joined earlier by RT correspondent Alexei Yaroshevsky, who's been covering the trial for us, and I first asked him about the reaction in the courtroom.
Well, Ross Ulbricht's family was, of course, shell-shocked by this decision when it was announced by the jury. His mother, Lynn, shook her head, and his father took his finger to a temple, suggesting that the decision was crazy. His mother later said that this is not over, obviously suggesting that the defending team of lawyers of Ross Ulbricht will be filing an appeal, and that has been confirmed by his defending lawyer, Joshua Drattel.
That's wild, Joe. Like, so we got a little bit more of the show left, but that's crazy. But they never brought up the charges on murder or conspiracy to commit murder. That just tells me that was how they got him. That was their end to getting this shit done. But this go to show you, don't fuck with the government money. The government
So
said,
that's
I need
basically
a
where the
cut.
story ends.
A couple of life sentences without parole, I should say so.
That's crazy, though.
He's certainly appealing, but the odds don't look.
That is wildly overcharged, I guess you would say. Life over sentence. Life? Are we what? Life? These people out there that actually commit murder, they got less time than that. Life in prison. All because he tapped into the government. He was taking money from the government, essentially tapping into that untapped resource, and the government got pissed off. Like, that's our lane, nigga. Let us teach you a lesson.
Very good. But those who knew him in life, his parents, friends,
family members, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. They don't believe for a second.
Not our little Ross. They're all,
Right.
in shock.
But, I mean, caught pretty red-handed. And there's actually a documentary just released not long ago called Deep Web about the case, directed by Alex Winter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bill S. Preston Esquire.
Bill of Bill and Ted fame. Yep. And that documentary takes kind of an alternate path to this stuff. Basically, the consensus in the documentary is that he had something to do with it, but like the Dread Pirate Roberts, he wasn't the first and he wasn't the last. He was involved, but not in any of the super bad shit, basically.
Well, Rick Ross was the first. Not even Rick Ross. Who was the one that Tom Cruise played in that movie? Where he played the pilot. You had Mickey Monday. All right, you got Freeway Ricky Ross. Then you probably got the Dread Pirate Roberts, and then who was after the Dread Pirate Roberts? You know what I mean? I'm just saying, he's right. He wasn't the first, and he wasn't going to be the last, and he hasn't been the last.
It's not like him, not in his character, all that sort of stuff.
None of the murder plots, for example.
Right. It's a good documentary.
If you're interested in that take of it. Or...
Yeah, but he's the guy.
So your case here is just, come on.
Yeah, I mean, the odds are. The documentary also talks about the FBI and the DEA engaging in what's called parallel construction, where they kind of broke the law in the documentary's view to get the evidence.
So committing illegal acts to catch someone in a bigger illegal act.
Right. But then they constructed a plausible narrative.
In other words,
after the fact.
Entrapment.
Right. So like the ends justify the means, that kind of thing.
Right. And it's possible. I can't speculate. It's possible.
Yeah, you weren't there. You don't know.
But he did that shit. Anyway, this case is fascinating because I don't really know where I stand on the issue, the larger issue, which is the war on drugs, the decriminalization of drugs.
Right.
And whether a system like this is truly a harm reduction sort of thing. I think that it is.
Right. You want to be in awe of this kind of thing. The application of technology, the ability to, as he was putting it forth, the idea of taking the risk factor out of what is inherently an illegal activity.
Right. And I'm no drug user.
Absolutely not. Me neither.
But I thought of this guy, especially before he was caught, and I learned of the murder plot and all that.
All the
stuff.
really bad things.
Yeah. I thought of him as sort of a folk hero.
And I think I said it earlier. It does
think
seem
a lot
like
of
a
people
noble
did.
goal for someone doing something so incredibly illegal.
It does. But in a truly libertarian,
Right.
whatever you call it, in a truly free society, especially a cyber society, for lack of a better phrase.
Cyber freedom. Yeah.
Children have access to heroin without
Everyone has access. Everything's decriminalized. There's no
Right.
drug law.
and there's no I don't want to refer to drug dealers as gatekeepers, but drug dealers by and large, from what I'm given to understand and from the experiences I had with drug dealers as a kid,
As a child yourself.
Yeah.
Shortly
They
after
don't
like this podcast, like
generally
fentanyl
sell
started hitting the scene.
crank to 12-year-olds. But a 12-year-old can very easily figure out Bitcoin and Tor
Yeah.
and get himself all manner.
All in
So
private
what, so
school
what you're saying is
The
kids
private
saving up
school
their
kids
milk
be the
money,
worst.
buying Bitcoin, and then
Sure. There was a case of a 12-year-old in Indiana whose mother found it was MDMA in
Right.
a cartoon DVD. They did a lot of tricks like that when the shipping.
Yeah.
And right in the mailbox, she got suspicious because he was suddenly super interested in when the mail came.
Right.
And she turned his ass in. But, you know, it happened.
That's a little extreme, but
and
yeah.
it happened, and there's no way to protect against that. A truly free society means a curious 9-year-old who can get it done.
So when you refer to say dealers as gatekeepers, you're thinking because it's so prohibitively risky, because it's such a weird a place for a child to go.
I can't speak for the average heroin dealer, but were I a heroin dealer,
were you into heroin?
If I was that guy,
Right.
I'm not going to sell heroin to the 8-year-old, to Jimmy's World. I'm not going to do that. It's a little callback there, but so I can't really get on board with the concept. And the concept is, for those of you at home, it's thriving. You cut off the head of the Hydra and...
Oh my God, there have got to be tens, if not hundreds of those websites now.
Yeah, there's at least dozens. And there were competitors at the time. We're just focused on the Silk Road because it was the largest and the most interesting story.
Well, that's what he mentions in his quote. He's talking about how, you know, how he doesn't truly have a free market because of competition. You know?
Right. It would be very hard to make this go away. There's a couple of options. One would be to ban Bitcoin.
I don't think that would make it go away, but all right.
Wait, that's a way to stem the tide. It's
Well,
one of a few.
Well, I mean, okay, let's follow that thought. You ban Bitcoin. Watch how quickly the prices spike on Litecoin. Watch how quickly the prices spike on Doge or whatever.
One more time.
Right. Come on, stay with me. Stay with me.
But the only way this kind of thing also...
It's one of the failings of the war on drugs.
It is.
Because people seek this stuff out.
They do. And consenting adults, all that. And I agree to a point.
And even children sometimes.
I mean,
they want to fuck themselves up.
I'm not particularly bothered by consenting adults
who
aren't harming me and mine doing some blow on the weekend. I'm relatively okay with that.
As long as they stay home, stay off the road. Right.
Right. But if this kind of thing proliferates as much as it has been, and more so, I feel like the powers that be, the government, which is not going to spontaneously disband, despite what Ludwig von Mises wants, or wanted, I should say. I think that this could only lead to more heavy-handed legislation on the internet, which is supposed to be a free and open exchange of ideas and information. There is an abuse of that going on. This is technically an abuse of that.
Yeah, well, you hand people the ability to do these things, and be damned if they don't use it for crime.
I wasn't able to get statistics on this, but it seems a pretty good guess that cannabis products were the largest and remain on the current markets. They were the largest segment of that. And there are a few states in this country where marijuana has been decriminalized to some extent.
Yes.
So perhaps the demand wouldn't be quite so strong if more states decriminalized pot.
Well, that's a slippery slope. You're going to get some letters on that, but...
Sure. I'm not saying really one way or the other. Medical marijuana, sure.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's not... That
Charlotte's Web, all that stuff, sure. But every person I know who continued to be a pothead into mid-adulthood and into our age.
Right. Long past their prime.
Yeah, they, for the most part, at least in my experience, they turned into nothing. So
your message for the kids out there are users or losers?
Sort of. And I'm certainly not saying I've never dabbled, because I have.
No, plenty of my friends
in the past.
have.
I did as a teenager. Were medical marijuana to come to Florida, I wouldn't be, like those guys in California.
You wouldn't suddenly find you have a bad back.
Yeah, bad back or night blindness or facial neuralgia or just general lethargy, whatever they're giving it for, because they give it for anything, I think. So I guess I'm for the decriminalization of pot, but certainly, but I'm not going to partake.
No.
So my interest in this is totally vicarious. It's not.
Right. It's not an active.
Right. But I will say this, given that this man didn't actually commit any murders, and
well, he was facilitating.
Was a naive, admittedly a grown-up, but a naive, privileged idealist kid.
Right.
I don't think several life sentences is appropriate for him. He should do some time, probably.
Oh yeah, no, he should definitely. I mean,
definitely several life
sentences,
2 life sentences,
40 whatever the phrasing is for that.
Just the drugs. I mean, it's drug trafficking. You can't just make exceptions for people who are really more innovative with it.
Just found a new way of financing.
Right.
That's the thing.
Well, they got him for that, computer hacking, and they didn't get him on any of the not murder charges. But
No, they didn't actually. But it's sort of like when O.J. Simpson just went to prison for robbery or whatever. He really went for killing those 2 people 10 years before. So, all right, I guess that's about it. That's about all I have to say about that. Any final thoughts or?
Not really.
All right. Well, thank you guys at home for listening. And don't forget that you can follow us on Twitter at Liar City Podcast, or on Facebook, just search for Liar City, or the regular old website, which is www.liarcity.com. And if you're feeling extra generous, you could convert some of your Bitcoin to cash and hit up patreon.com/Liar City and pledge your support to our show.
Help us keep producing this wonderful program.
Don't be so full of yourself. Anyway, that's www.patreon.com/Liar City. And just as a final thought, the other day I was on Big O and Duke's Reloaded. Those guys are really good friends to the show.
Yeah, that's actually where I heard you guys talking about Narcos.
I think a lot of people feel that way. They actually got an episode on the OJ shit.
Hung up.
Go check them out.
It turned out that Oscar maybe doesn't listen to as much Liar City as he claims. So I thought, let's do a little test and see if he's actually listening. If you're listening to this episode, Oscar
Santana,
go ahead and send a tweet, any tweet at all, to Liar City Podcast.
Yo, called Oscar,
and then
out.
We won't have to do our next episode on you.
Looking forward to hearing from you at Oscar Radio.
All right, good night, everybody.
Good night.
Oh man, that is funny. And like I said, Liar City guys, go check them out. I know they're not doing any podcasts anymore, but their back catalog is fucking fantastic. I'm just gonna let y'all know that their back catalog is fucking fantastic. So when I heard that Brian Albright was getting out, I was like, they said Silk Road. I was like, the Dread Power Roberts, and I immediately remember this episode. That's where I kind of learned about him. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for you guys. If you're new, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification icon. It'll let you know when I got new content coming out. Share the stream, guys, so people know we live. You catching the replay, leave a comment. Let me know how I'm doing. I can use that constructive criticism. You want to donate to the channel, $ Cannon Hotep on Cash App. That's Cannon Hotep on Cash App. Super chats, rumble rants, always welcome, guys. Anyway, until next time, it's Cannon Hotep saying be blessed, stay strapped, don't miss. And don't worry about tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow got enough problems of its own. Worry about today. I'll holler at you guys.
Don't relax and take notes. Niggas need to wake up. Niggas need to relax and take notes. Niggas need to wake up. Niggas need to relax and take notes.